66 million years ago, in a forest that no longer exists, a small dinosaur stood up on two legs, turned its head, and looked at the world through two forward-facing eyes. The same kind of eyes you're using right now. It had hands, real hands, with fingers that could grip. It had, for its body size, the largest brain of any dinosaur that ever lived. It hunted in the dark. It may have hunted in groups, and by every measure we have, it was getting smarter. Scientists have a name for what it might have become, and it is not a lizard. It's something that would have looked, standing in the dark, disturbingly like a person. And then, on a single ordinary afternoon, a rock the size of a mountain fell out of the sky and erased all of it. So tonight, let's ask the question that rock deleted. What if the dinosaurs had never died, and one of them had kept getting smarter and smarter until it was sitting exactly where you are now? What if they had been first? Let's begin. To understand how close it got, you have to meet the animal. Its name is Troodon. It was small, about the size of a person, light, fast, and built for thinking. Most dinosaurs we picture as enormous, slow, and dumb. Troodon was none of those. Pound for pound, its brain was bigger than almost anything else alive at the time. Its eyes faced forward, which gave it something most reptiles never had: depth perception. It could judge distance. It could aim. And on the end of its arms were long, slender fingers, with a grip that could hold and turn and manipulate the world. A brain that plans, eyes that aim, hands that build. Stop and notice something. That is not a list of dinosaur traits. That is a list of human ones. In 1982, a paleontologist named Dale Russell looked at all of this and asked the obvious, terrifying question. If this animal had survived and kept evolving the way it was already evolving, what would it have turned into? He built a model of his answer. He called it the dinosauroid. Upright, big-brained, 3 fingers, looking back at us from behind glass like a cousin we never knew we had. And here's the part that should bother you. We didn't outthink the dinosaurs. We weren't smarter. We weren't even there. For 150 million years, while dinosaurs ran the entire planet, our ancestors were tiny, frightened mammals the size of a mouse, hiding in burrows, coming out only at night, praying not to be stepped on. The dinosaurs weren't the warm-up act before us. We were the warm-up act, hiding in the dark, waiting for them to leave. So here is the mystery. If a dinosaur was already this close to intelligence, eyes, hands, a growing brain, and 150 million years to work with, why isn't this a planet of dinosaurs reading about us? It is tempting to reach for the easy answers, but every easy answer is wrong. It's not that dinosaurs were too stupid to get there. Their direct descendants are still alive today. We call them birds. And some birds, like crows and ravens, make tools, solve puzzles, remember individual human faces, and plan for the future. The dinosaur brain was never the problem. The dinosaur brain became one of the smartest designs on Earth. It's not that they were too big or too slow. Troodon was neither. It was small, quick, warm-blooded, and probably covered in feathers, closer to a clever, dangerous bird than to the lumbering monster in your head. And it's not that they didn't have time. They had more time than we have ever had. We built everything: fire, farming, cities, spaceflight, in about 10,000 years. The dinosaurs had 150 million. So if it wasn't the brain, and it wasn't the body, and it wasn't the time, what stopped them? The answer isn't a flaw. It's an accident. The reason dinosaurs never built a civilization is almost insulting in how simple it is. They were not beaten. They were not outsmarted. They got unlucky on one specific day by one specific rock. About 66 million years ago, an asteroid roughly 10 kilometers across, wider than most cities, hit the Earth near what is now Mexico, at a place called Chicxulub. It struck with the force of billions of nuclear bombs. The impact threw so much rock and dust into the sky that the entire planet went dark. Plants died. The animals that ate plants died. The animals that ate those animals died. In a geological blink, 3 out of every 4 species on Earth were gone. And every non-bird dinosaur, every single one, after 150 million years of total domination, was wiped off the planet. Now sit with what that actually means. The dinosaurs didn't lose to us. We never fought. They lost a coin flip, thrown by the universe, on an afternoon nobody saw coming. If that rock had arrived a few hours earlier, or a few hours later, it would have hit open ocean instead of shallow rock. And scientists think the dinosaurs might have survived. I'll be honest with you. The first time I really understood that everything I am, everything we've ever built, traces back to where a rock happened to land one Tuesday 66 million years ago, I had to stop and just sit there for a minute. We don't rule this planet because we earned it. We rule it because we inherited an empty one. And the creatures that crawled out to inherit it were those tiny, terrified mammals, the ones who had been hiding in burrows the whole time. One of them eventually became you. Let's undo it. Let's move that rock a few hours. Let it splash harmlessly into the sea, and let the dinosaurs keep their planet. Give Troodon the one thing it never got, the next few million years. What would they have built? Not our world, something stranger. Start with the body. A dinosaur civilization would be warm-blooded, feathered, fast, and armed with senses we can barely imagine. Many dinosaurs likely saw in more colors than we can. Picture a species that paints in shades you don't even have names for. Their cities might not be gray. They might be the most colorful thing this planet has ever seen. And unlike the octopus, they would have one thing octopuses never could. They lived on land, in the air, near fire. A feathered, intelligent dinosaur could have done what we did. Tamed flame, forged metal, built engines. Their technology might not look that different from ours. Their bodies would. Think about what they'd never have. No mammals worth mentioning, no cats, no dogs, no horses, no cows, and no humans. In a world where the dinosaurs lived, you don't get a different version of yourself. You simply never exist. The shrew in the burrow stays a shrew forever because the giants above it never left. And their gods would be different from ours. We looked up at the stars and dreamed of going there. A dinosaur civilization would look up and remember something else. That the last time the sky truly noticed their kind, it fell on them. Their oldest, deepest story wouldn't be about reaching the heavens. It would be about surviving them. I keep picturing one of them, a clever feathered thing with forward-facing eyes, looking up at a streak of light crossing the night sky and feeling something it can't explain, a fear with no memory attached. The ghost of an afternoon 66 million years before it was born. Here's the part I keep coming back to. None of that is fantasy I invented. The smart dinosaur is real. Troodon's bones are in museums. The forward eyes are real. The gripping hands are real. The growing brain is real. The model of what it might have become is real. A scientist built it, and you can look it in the face. The only thing standing between a planet of dinosaurs and a planet of humans was about 10 kilometers of rock and a few unlucky minutes of geometry. That's it. That's the whole story of why you're the one reading this, instead of them. The Earth didn't choose us. It rolled a dice, and the dice came up mammal. We like to tell ourselves we run this planet because we were always meant to. The final answer, the top of the ladder, the point of the whole thing. We weren't. We were the backup plan. We spent 150 million years losing, in the dark, to animals that were already growing the exact kind of mind we're so proud of. And then the universe flipped a coin, the dinosaurs lost, and a frightened little mammal crawled out of a hole into a silent, empty world that was suddenly, accidentally, all its own. We are not the heirs of evolution. We are the survivors of an accident. If a thought like that is the kind of thing your brain refuses to put down, you already belong here. Subscribe and stay a while, because next time we're turning that question on you. Forget the dinosaurs. What if humans never stopped evolving? What would you become 1 million years from now? See you out there.